I'll follow you to the end. I'll follow you to the end. You and me, I'll follow you to the end. Follow you to the end. I'll follow you to the end. You and me, I'll follow you to the end. I'll follow you to the end. You and me, I'll follow you to the end. I'll follow you to the end. I want to spend it right. No fear of what's to come. Just hold me close tonight. It holds cold through a hidden door. Something more. If we get one chance to live this life, why are we still killing time? Why are we still killing time? Why are we still killing time? Why are we still killing time?
All right, carry on. Dyer's Band. Radiance Band.
You are listening to the Monster Cat podcast.
Dyer's Band. Radiance Band.
Okay, fuck off. Das ist doch nice. Ich wollte es nur hier fucking
10 seconds to go. Dyer's Pick.
Faceless Void.
Radiance Pit.
Skywrath Maze.
Radiance Pit.
Omni Knight.
Dyer's Pick.
Juggernaut.
Dyer's Band. Radiance Band.
Welcome back, everybody, for Game 2 of Spooky Salt Squad versus Ruthless Gamers. Ruthless Gamers took Game 1.
10 seconds to go.
Back in, we have
5 seconds.
Death Prophet ban again by Spooky Salt Squad with the Earthshaker
Reserve
and the Razor
time.
Man, which Razor did do an amazing amount of work in the last game.
Dyer's
Spooky Salt
ban.
Squad pick up a Faceless Void and a Juggernaut. Both Juggernaut is a very, very highly prioritized hero by most teams currently, and Faceless Void is just always a good offlane, just breaks up a fight,
Radiance Band.
pick off one or two heroes. The Ruthless Gaming banned the Silencer and the Doom, and the Witch Doctor. Spooky Salt Squad banned Tide. Ruthless Gamers
10
picked
seconds to go.
Skywrath Mage and Omni Knight, so again they picked their
Radiance
support
pick.
duo up first. Skywrath being good against the faceless ultis. Skywrath just ultis right on top of Void, and that forces Void to get a BKB, which means that Void just isn't doing more damage, unfortunately. And Omni Knight, which again, Void chronos, and is provided the Omni is not caught in the chrono, Omni just Guardian Angels, and everybody gets away scot-free. So
10 seconds to go.
it might be interesting to see if Spooky Salt Squad pick up
5
something like a
seconds.
Lion or a Lina, probably Lion because of a more reliable stun, to just counter the Omni Knight Guardian Angel,
Radiant's
because you can just
pit.
finger kill whoever's caught in the chrono. Third picks were made exceptionally quickly by both teams. Ruthless Gaming picks up a Medusa, and Spooky Salt Squad pick up the Viper. So Faceless definitely going to the offlane. Jug will be their safe lane, and Viper going in the
10
mid
seconds to go.
do Viper things. We wait for
5
Ruthless
seconds.
Gamer's fourth pick, pardon me.
Reserve time.
Be interesting to see what they pick up. They're looking for an offlaner and a mid at this point. Not sure what they would pick up. The other support's already offlaner. Tide's been banned. Bristol was a good choice for the last game, but he did get shut down quite early on. He could potentially be a good pick in this match as well, though. Reserve time is ticking down. Centaur is another good offlane hero. He's a little bit undervalued in the current meta, but I think that he's really, really strong.
Behold the horn of madness.
Dyer's pick.
And so they pick up a Magnus. So Magnus will definitely be their mid laner. Magnus has kind of come back into a bit of a resurgence in the meta.
Radiant's
He's
banned.
a good mid laner, good tempo controller, RP, with an empowering. I guess he can only really empower himself. An Omni Knight effectively this match.
Dyer's
Which Omni
banned.
Knight's gonna be the worst to empower. Attacks once every 3 days. Ruthless Gamers ban
Radiant's
the
pick.
Marana, and Spooky Salt Squad ban the Necrophos for their last ban. So, and in the fourth pick, Spooky Salt Squad picked up Shadow Demon, another underplayed support hero. He's very, very defensive, which is partially, I think, why he's not a high value pick, but he can
10
he's
seconds to
not
go.
a useless support. He's just very defensive, and
5 seconds.
I don't think that's the right choice, like, especially against Medusa. You don't want to delay the game when you have a Medusa on your
Reserve
team.
time.
But we'll see how it works out. It'll be interesting to say the least. Reserve time ticks down further for Ruthless Gamer's fifth pick. Time keeps ticking down. I'm looking for offlaner.
Ten seconds to go.
So they're running real, and they pick up a Slark, so
Dyer's pick.
interesting sort of laning. A Slark offlane, not the greatest. He doesn't get any farm, but he's at least he has the mobility, and if he can get the farm, if he can get some space to farm, then he will become. Those gamers become really, really scary, as they have three really strong cores. Magnus, just crowd control. Slark is just
10
evasive as
seconds
all
to
hell,
go.
and Medusa just being able to dish out damage. I
5
hope
seconds.
this game that she uses Mystic Snake a little bit more effectively with not targeting the hero on the
Reserve
first bounce,
time.
but she did change a little bit later in the game, so we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Spooky Salt Squad, with their final pick, they will be looking for another support. So, supports left in the pool that are any good. Some pick. Witch Doctor wouldn't be bad with the Faceless Void. They're you can't place the death ward inside the chronosphere anymore, but as long as you're careful to place the death ward outside of the chrono, it can still accomplish the same result that you used to be able to, of just chrono happens and then drop the ult and watch as everyone crumbles. It would be a bit of a greedy pick, would be an Axe. He's favored pretty heavily currently by a lot of teams. He's just able to sit there and tank literally everything. Pick a Leshrac up, so two really uncommonly played supports by Spooky Saltzclaw with the Shadow Demon and the Leshrac, but both not really any stuns, unfortunately, on Spooky Saltzclaw at all. Shadow Demon has his what's his Q called? He has the ability to why can I not remember the term? He can take someone out of a fight, but he can't actually. He can banish somebody out of the fight with his Q, but he can't actually stun them. And Leshrac's stun is horribly unreliable. Just has a really
10 seconds to go.
really poor attack animation, which
5
makes it
seconds.
challenging to land, especially in the heat of a battle. I think so. We're into the game now, so we'll see how this plays out. We'll go through and reintroduce both teams. We have Terra on Viper, we have Canada on the Leshrac, Stegoth on the Void, who will definitely be going to the offlane. We have Matthew on the Shadow Demon, and Viking on the Juggernaut. And for Radiant, they're making another aggressive run into the enemy jungle. We have Falco on the Magnus, Mr. Stabby on the Skywrath Mage, Megamoose 21 on the Medusa, Mailman on the Omni Knight, and who am I missing? Oh, and Top Notch on the Slark. He's just lagging a little bit behind back, so yet again they go and block
30
this
seconds to
top
showtime.
camp off with an obs, but purple Slark pings it out for some whatever reason. Then I don't know. Both teams kind of did the same thing they did last game. Of the these gamers went straight into the jungle, and now they're gonna go and collide at mid lane, kind of yet again. So
And they're
bit
off.
of deja vu, and I think Viking recognizes the comedy that both just did the exact same
Radiant on one
rotation
side, Dire on the other.
the last time. So both teams went into the enemy team's jungle, which is pretty amusing. But everybody's starting to play some wards, so see how this laning phase goes. The Void is gonna have a hard time up against the Skywrath Mage and the Omni Knight. Just lots of Purify's obnoxious as anything, but they didn't block this wave, so Void's gonna get some. And nope, Mystic Snake directly on the Void. So again, does almost no damage. Does 80 damage at level for one bounce. So it's just a tickle onto that Faceless Void there. Oh, Slark's slow. Whoa, how did I miss that? Almost first blood, but hopefully this game's a little bit more action early than the last one. It was 8 minutes until we hit first blood, which is amazingly slow for most games. The Viper, Magnus is going to have a hard time, I think, in this mid lane against Viper. Viper's going to be able to do a lot of damage with, and just overall bully the Magnus in the lane, or bully Magnus in the lane overall. But the Viper did sort of let the wave go, or let the lane go really far, really fast. Oop. Shadow Demon taking some damage, but Sure, Slark goes side shot. He's just camping out there. So, hit again.
I'll take that.
Passive early game, which I don't think is the greatest choice, again, especially with a Medusa on the enemy side, but last game it did almost work. Oh, Vanish comes out, and the stun, but the Slark pounces, so very good play by Slark to just hit pounce away before that stun could collide, which, as I stated, is kind of the poor part about Split Earth. Is it's high damage, don't get me wrong, but it's very, very unreliable, and you need something like a disruption to even be able to set it up. We look at CS. Viper is on top so far with 15 last hits, Jag with 12. The Medusa, as last game, she has kind of poor early game last hitting. She is hard to last hit early, but this Medusa specifically is just I don't know. Didn't do
That's
too
a
good.
first blood.
Oh, and I missed
Last of
first
my
blood.
kind, but first.
That's terrible. So, if I had to guess, spin, disruption, and a spin. It's very bad that I missed first blood there. But so, Salt gets on the board first this game. So. Looking good their way so far. Void, love his boots soon, so he's surviving the offlane, which is about all that you can ask for especially one a melee up against two ranged. It's not the worst thing in the world for him. And this massive double wave being pushed out to his tower as well will help. Just get it, secure him some levels. Just the Omni Knight's really aggressive. So again, a missile thing directly onto the hero, which just it's poor. If it's able to get a couple bounces, then it's amazing because that's could almost kill Void. It is magic damage, but I don't know, it's only 8. Okay, now it's 120, but 80. Yeah, it would have harassed him out of lane at least. It would have put him like under 100 HP, and Viper kills Magnus, and then just Kenny's missing every kills all over the place. But a rotation from the Lash and the Shadow Demon, and then just Salve and Bottles. So Spooky South Squad having a better early game than last game, just getting a couple kills on the board, get them off the ground at least, whereas last game they did this strange period of time where they're just hemorrhaging deaths. And we have a buzz. And somebody's game crashed. Okay, so
Thanks.
and we're back on pause. So Viper's having really good early game in the mid lane thus far. They're looking to gank Slark. They get a disruption. They get the so much damage here, but they're not quite enough. Oh no, but Soul Catcher. No. Soul Catcher just basically doubles the damage, or like increases that by 30%. It's not like an Orchid. So, good rotation by
Guess what's happening?
the
The Dire's
Saltus
bottom
supports
tower.
to try and apply some pressure to Slark. Make him. Slark has 7 last hits only, which is abysmal. Void has 10, which is a little bit more. They're they're applying some pressure to this tower though. It's only at 150 health, which isn't going to be very
The
good.
Dire best do something about that bottom tower.
Void as well as the when Chrono comes out. Viper ultis onto Medusa. Medusa's only level 5, so Medusa can't ulti, but and the repel is going to save her a little bit, but she doesn't have any mana to do anything. So I think it's a decent rotation by the Viper, and now they're just going to place. The Jug has had some pretty secure farm at top lane, so
Dire's
they're going
mid
to
tower could
wisely
use a
apply some
little help.
pressure to this bottom lane. Force Medusa to play really defensively, and wow, as I say this, Jug actually gets a
Dire's
solo
mid
kill
tower
with
won't
Sark,
last much
so
longer.
Sark's not going to
Radiant's
do well
top
in this
tower's in
offlane at all.
bad
He only
shape.
has boots and a ring protection to his name at the 7.5
Radiant's top
minute mark.
tower's hurting.
Oop, nope, nothing gonna go on there. We just have a lot of aggression. Oh, the Magnus is coming. Magnus has an RP. Soul catcher. Oh, RP onto the Void.
Radiant's top tower's taking hits.
And that's a dead Shadow Demon. And Leshrax's also in a bad place. So much for applying some aggression and
Trouble
to
brewing
the
at Radiant's
Medusa.
bottom tower.
They were able to get a favorable exchange of the ordeal.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
Just catapulting away onto this tower
Dire's bottom tower's
Void
getting the business.
is really
Can't do
in a
nothing
poor
about
place.
Dire's structures right now.
Oh, he time walks, but no. Uh,
Looks like Dire's
this is a
bottom
deny,
tower
so-
got disowned.
Another good deny by Stega from this offlane. He got a good deny last game in the offlane to the Medusa, and yet again he pulls it out of the bag for a second time. So if we look at hero net worth, we have the Jug almost at least 2k over the Medusa, and the
Radiant
Magnus
structures
Viper
must have been
is
fortified.
pretty close as well. So both of the Squad heroes are doing really good in terms of net worth, and their team net worth reflects accordingly. It's about 2,500 above, and XP is about 2k. So now they're looking to pressure this offlane tower. Oh, Void Chronos somewhere. Oh, in mid lane. Void Chronos. The Magnus drops after the poison from Viper. Viper's a DD, so Viper. Wow, that's like half of this.
Going for broke.
Of the salve 70. He's gonna backtrack it. He backtracks it like a champ. Now Omni's in a really bad place. Roche.
Will break
He denies him on the Roche, which is a really good play. This Viper's just chasing, which I think. Oh, this is gonna be good. Could be good. Nope. He's chasing too far, but he pings out the.
Radiant's
the
top
Lesh finally
tower's
comes, but
hurting.
it's just too late. And as I was following that, the Spooky Assault Squad were able to secure the top
Radiant's
2 on
top
towers.
tower's
So,
in bad shape.
oh no, they're doing well. Like Void was able to deny himself to Roche, so nothing. And that was a really clutch backtrack from on that one. Orb that was coming out from the Scaraf Mage. It did save the Void. So their Spooky Assault Squad looks pretty good compared to last game. They're getting a lot done in lane so far, and both Viper and the Jug have just farmed exceptionally well. The Medusa's 20 last hits below, and
Time is money.
Juggernaut was even able to secure a tower, as well as some solo kills. So Medusa so far is just zeros across the board. Ping out onto the Slark. But nope.
No sorceries avail.
Mask pops up.
Radiant's mid tower's
Jug's
getting
going to
banged
fish
up.
the more typical Mask Madness, and he's 5 points in stats, which is the most prominent build right now by most people. So Jug backs a bit of a fake back, but it's gonna get spotted out by this.
What's with all the
here.
scribbling? Guess what's happening
So,
to Dyer's bottom tower?
Salt's gonna be really aggressive here. The time walk in and right onto the Omni, and the Skyrath walks into and the Omni drops, and the Omni Slash comes through, but only a few bandages. Silence now with the Star gets disrupted. We have the Magnus walking in, looking for an RP.
Radiant's top tower's in bad shape.
The jump here.
Dyer's bottom tower's getting
Wow.
the business.
So 3 drops, so a bit of an
Radiant's top
aggressive
tower's
play by
taking
Spooky
hits.
Salt Squad there, and
2
4
down.
dead. So a 4 for 1 exchange, because the Omni did fall early on in that exchange, so of course it only has 1 kill in the fight recap, so a really good wow, literally just instant turnaround and puts Radiant back in lead for XP, and the net worth graph still hasn't yet updated, but once it does, I think that'll put Ruthless Gamers back in the lead in both last hits and both in net worth and in XP. So really swung the game a lot into Ruthless Gamers' favor, just with that one fight where I think that the Void was a little bit over-ambitious with the time lock. Ooh, a weird time lock there. I think that he was able to get a longer one, but I think he may have slightly misclicked. Skyrath is now level 6, so if an ult comes down from the Void, he's gonna now be able to at least
Radiant's top
do some
tower's
damage to the
hurting.
Void. Oh, and Jug is caught. Just out in nowhere land. So, not the greatest. Bit of a sloppy play by Salt for the last couple minutes. Really aggressive TP from Slark. Slark pounces in. Shadow Demon disrupts himself, and a chrono on freaking everybody. The Slark drops immediately. Focusing on the Omni that pops Guardian Angel before which I don't know. The disruptor's gonna fall. Or Shadow Demon, sorry, wow.
That something good may begin.
And Jug TP's in mid. Oh no, he doesn't. TP's top, pardon me. So he's just gonna go and continue to acquire agriculture. And the Void is gonna last hit some more. So 1 for 1 exchange in that fight. Oh, the skewer back and the time walk back the other way. So bit of a cat and mouse game here. Last fight was, I think, favorable for Spooky Salt Squad. They lost their Shadow Demon, who's pretty worthless in terms of a
Radiant's
support.
top tower's in
Gonna
bad
be their
shape.
5. And they got the Slark, who, even though he's had a really poor start, he is still their offlaner, and his farm is valuable. The Jug is going ham here, gets skewered back, spins out wide before anything can happen. So a good spin by the Jug here, and the Leshrac is here providing some more support, if nothing else.
Radiant's mid tower
He gets pounced on.
hand.
And Shadow Dance and the Purify, so the Leshrac and the Magnus does not entire. So I think the Magnus the Leshrac was a little bit too defensive in his positioning, because had he been a bit closer, he would have been able to actually get the stun off. And a good RP by the Magnus, and Void timeouts away, but he's purge onto his Slark, and then the disruption, but then Shadow Demon gets pounced on. I don't know, he's just gonna stand and the Shockwave just takes him out. So did they actually kill anybody? I don't know, the fight recap's kind of
The
useless.
Dire best do
But
something
in
about
general,
that bottom tower.
Ruthless Gamers started to... Now is still in Spooky Salt Squad's favor, but the XP is almost 3k in favor of Ruthless Gamers, which is just going to help them just keep moving along. They pick up the Medusa here in the bottom lane, as Slark, I think, was rotating over to provide some assistance. So a good pickoff for them. 800 XP and about a 600 gold swing, so not nothing. Oh, ooh, misses Skewer. That would have been definitely a dead Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon is just so squishy of a hero. The Empower on. Oh, I'm getting me.
Radiant's bottom tower ain't a pretty sight right now. No
Jug's
breaking
just
down
applying
radiant
pressure
structures
everywhere,
like
so
this.
Viking pulling out what he did last match. So
Radiant's bottom tower
pushing
seen
everywhere.
better days.
This time he's on Juggernaut instead of and he made Slarg misses the pounds. Oh, and the Chrono onto the one Omni-Knight, which they secure the kill, which they're gonna transition this into a mid push. The Jug is kind of in a bad place. He spins out of the leash, which is a good play by him, and he just walks away.
Radiant's
So,
mid tower's
lots
coming
of
apart.
space created by the Juggernaut here for his team to just. They're gonna take this tier 2 mid, so I think it's a really good play by the Juggernaut. He attracted most of this game to the bottom lane, and now they have the tower. They get out, no casualties. So it's a good helping in gold in favor of Spooky Salt Squad, and the XP gap's almost back down to even. So very good plays by Spooky Salt Squad. They have 2 lanes of tier 2s down already at the 18-minute mark. They haven't been able to make any progress on the bottom lane thus far,
Trouble
but
brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
it's actually, as they say this, Jug's going to take
Radiant
the
lost
bottom
one of
tier
them
1.
bottom
So.
towers.
And Void picks on the Mask of Madness as well, so lots of lifesteal, lots of madness. Just Shadow somebody. Oh, RP on 2, Skier but misses, and then the Shadow Demon dies. Wow. So Leshrac dies, Shadow Demon dies. The Void, no, he's gonna backtrack everything because he's Void. The Empower is gonna let them push this a little bit faster. Faceless only really does have his Mask of Madness. He only has 18.
Radiant's bottom towers.
Pretty abysmal in the game. Jug keeps applying the pressure
Hell.
everywhere with
No breaking through the
pushing
dire structures for
constantly.
now.
Medusa, we're 20 minutes in, she hasn't
Dire's
actually
mid towers
finished her
have
Lincoln
technical
Sphere, which
difficulties.
once she
The Dire
finishes it,
couldn't hang
Jug's
on
gonna
to
have
that
a hard time
mid-tower.
Omni-Slashing because they'll Omni-Slash and poof, nothing will happen. But on night building probably toward the Force Staff, which is a good item. Slark, what's he going for? He's trying to finish his Yash. He's about 500 or so gold off. Just needs to finish. Just needs to find out the
Dire's
recipe.
top tower.
Void only
know
has
the drill.
Mask Madness. The Shadow Demon will also be going for Force Staff, as will the Lash.
Dire's top tower's getting beat down.
They're just farming and it's the Void spots out the they spot him out. But
The Dire might want to
why are
mine
they
the
not
top
engaging?
tower.
They Void gets a Chrono on 2, so very good. But ulti so and the Omni Slash, so good ulti by the Medusa, skewered by Magnus. RP finally. But just around, but the Magnus pops from the stun from Leshrac. The Viper's gonna stand his ground, the Viper dies. The Jug and the Shadow Demon, the only 2 alive, so it's a 3-for-1 exchange thus far. The Jug contemplates going back, but he's like, nope, that's gonna be a bad play. The Shadow Demon's gonna get picked off by the Slark. Jug did go back in. Jug gets the kill onto the Omni-Knight, but drops, so it's a 4-for-2 so far, and I think it's gonna end. No, he gets away. Shadow Demon gets away with the TV, so a 4-for-2 exchange in the end. Not really worth for Spooky Salt Squad, as Medusa was able to be alive the whole fight, which she picks up a Blades of Attack, so it looks like instead of finishing off her link, she's finished off her Lincolns. SP's on the Courier, so now she's finally going back for a phase boost, which Actually, she's had pretty poor farm if she's that only now finishing her phase. And she only has 8k gold, not or 7,400, not the most farm Medusa in the world. Void doesn't have a chrono, so you can't really go on this Stark, at least for a for sure kill. They're rotating up, which I think Leshrac did spot that out just in the fog, so it'll be interesting to see now what this fight looks like. Void will have a Chrono Sphere up in 12 seconds. He jumps in and goes on to the Slark, so he gets silent. Wow, he's just dead. Mask of Madness this is not a good game for Mask of Madness. So it just did so much damage there. Stark pounces and Stark dies because it's just the
top tower.
The last stand stun. So it's 2 for 1, but Void just died really quickly, and Magnus is looping around. Magnus does have his blink dagger, and we have a pause. Phone calls. Love it. So we got a few minutes to have a bit of a break. So, while we wait, let's go take a look at everybody's items. Skyrath does have a 4 staff completed. He's 2 Robe of Magi. He could be going, I guess, for an Orchid, but that seems retarded on a Skyrath. I don't know what else he could be building with 2 robes. It's kind of a strange item pickup for him, unless he just wants to increase his int, which I guess it's a fairly affordable way to do so. Medusa, 22 minutes in, only has Lincolns with her phase boots being flown around courier. Shadow Demon, still poor as hell, only has a ring region. The Omni Knight, he's built the same boat as Shadow Demon. Is trying to build a 4 staff, but just not getting to it so far. I already looked at Skyrath. Magnus, he has a blink, he has a ring of health, which I don't know what he would be building. Hooded Defiance would be actually not too bad. Or he could be going for Crimson. So, some possibilities there all around. Look at the dead Leshrac. Leshrac's going for a Yules, which will aid in the setup for his stun. And Void doesn't have really any farm. He has his mana, has his treads and Mask of Madness. He'll have Chrono up at least when he respawns, which hopefully they'll be able to accomplish something with that. Courier's on the return. It's pretty neat courier. And we look like we're gonna get back underway. The red pot courier is my favorite. Some interesting drawings on the minimap.
Alright,
So,
carry on.
we're back here. Void's going to be spawning in 15, as will the Leshrac. But Ruthless gamers do back away from this top lane. So
Double damage.
they looked positioned as if they wanted to take the top tier one, but they do back off. I guess Jug did pick up the TV and he's gone into the Roach Pit, but no words around here, so those gamers aren't privy to this. So it'll be a good sneak rush by the team. Poor man shield on the ground with Courier coming out to get it. Or not. The Shadow Demon is just going to be a Courier, I guess, this time. So Magnus comes in. He has an invis room, so let's see what he can do. He could get. Oh, this is could be a really good RP. Doesn't have much follow up though, sadly. Oh, his team's coming in. Oh, come on. 3-man RP. Wow. Really good use of the Spear, the Purify. There's one versatile. The Omni Slash comes in, another Juggernaut. Gets a lot of bounces. Gets the Skyrath Rage dies, but then the Slark's getting focused down by the Viper, and the Chrono comes in. But nothing. What? Void drops. Wow, we have a lag spike. Wow, that was. It seems stable to me, but I think we're on US West this match rather than US East. But the Chrono was, I think, definitely delayed by the lag, because that would have. Definitely a questionable Chrono.
Somebody's on
The
a
Void
roll.
died like inside of it. So unfortunate, because it looked like those gamers did get a really good initiation with that RP into Skewer, but it seemed like Salt were able to turn around, would have been able to turn around, but the Void ult was just unfortunate. And I think that with Diffusal Blade, which is a really good item for against all of these heroes on themselves, but especially Medusa because they're very low. Everybody is low mana, so it's gonna work function similar to the Animage last game, where it's just the chase is also amazing. It's gonna function similar to the Anti-Mage last game, just making sure they have no mana, because Skyrath is going to have the largest mana pool out of anyone, which means they'll actually take more damage. The Medusa, 832, she's building up a decent mana pool, but looks like she's going for another Maelstrom like last match. Magnus, fairly small mana pool, so I think the Jug, and especially as the attack modifier does apply inside of Omni Slash, so it'll just be that extra bit of mana draining. And the Agi is nothing to balk at. The Leshrac Canada comes in, pops the Diabolic E-Bolt, and they're gonna pressure this tower. Medusa ults on another really nice RP. Skyrath ult on 3 does no damage, but the Leshrac pops, the Viper pops, and the Healing Ward gets taken. So again, Shadow Demon's dead. He's with no friends. The Jug's gonna escape, but he's dead. But no Jug, he's gonna come back in, which I think is a mistake. Omni Slash goes, down goes Skyrath, down goes, wow, down goes 3, that was a really, really nice Omni Slash. And down goes Medusa too. Wow, so it just single-handedly turns that around. Juggernaut with the really, really nice Omni Slash. That was, I thought it was a questionable decision to go back in on that fight, but holy crap, that did so much work, and this is going to allow them to just take this tier 1 tower here, or tier 3 tower partner. So, really nice play by the Juggernaut, and yeah, Juggernaut is kind of broken. And wow, there goes Slark's mana. And there's Elena Rax by this Juggernaut. The Omni Knight and the Skyrath buys back. Slark does have buyback, but just wow. They take the only goes for ranged. Oh wow, what are you doing, Skyrath? You're gonna die. Void comes in. Void can just Chrono, and you know, gets silenced on the Chrono, but they're gonna take this too. Wow, Jug's getting really aggressive. They just need to focus back on Purifying. Oh wait, he had Aegis too. Wow, so the Void just uses a Chrono just to get this rack. Medusa TP's behind the team. It's really good play. And down goes the Leshrac yet again. The Void's going to drop, and the Juggernauts become slow. The Viper comes around, so that Medusa gets advantage. That the void. Oh, this Jug spins to win. He's gonna escape. He's gonna get away. Okay, and we go back. Shadow Demon. So good play by the Shadow Demon to banish the Medusa, and that was a really good play by Salt all around to get him into racks. He's got, well, it's what they need to do against this Medusa. She's gonna be able to carry them into the late game with relative ease, but Jug with that freaking Diffusal Blade is just ridiculous. The amount of damage being dealt to mana, plus the, like, what does it give? And Ascension Yasha. So 25 mana and 20 agi, so it's basically an extra 50 damage every strike. It's really, really powerful. Roche is going to be back up in 5 minutes, so it'll be interesting to see. Both teams now have it warded, which was unfortunate for Ruthless Gamers last match because they had no vision there. And Jug was able to get the Aegis with absolutely no contention. They will, at least if Ruthless Gamers would have applied pressure to that top tier 1, they would have at least made some sort of trade, but instead they chose to lose it, to back off without any vision. So Jug is continuing to acquire agriculture. He has a basher now, so it seems every time I blink the Jug has another item come out. He already has another 2k gold. His net worth, he's almost 7,000 above the Medusa, so very, very potent this Juggernaut is. Just, and the Maelstrom to help him farm and just generally do damage in fights where he's not Omni Slashing. They're going on this. They only saw the Lush Rack, yet the Magnus still backs off. So Ruthless Gamers are playing fairly scared in this match. And the Lush Rack does finally complete his Yules, so good item for him. That'll make his ulti really reliable. It's interesting to note that he hasn't yet skilled up Lightning Storm. I think that it's a really good ability, especially with a Juggernaut who has had his ult range nerfed so heavily. The extra just slow is, it's small, but I think it could help set up various things. And wow, a 3%, but the Guardian Angel, good 3% photo, and then the Omni Slash comes in and just melts everybody. The Magnus dies, so it's a 2 for 2 so far. Slark, okay, 3, 4, 5, all of them dead. Wow, this Juggernaut is freaking ridiculous. That Omni Slash, the Chrono is really nice, but the Omni Knight got the Guardian Angel off, which was a good play by him. But holy crap, this Juggernaut, the Omni Slash is just insane. And the Slark by his back, but I don't know what the Slark's gonna be able to do. And finally, Mag does as well, which Mag doesn't have an ulti, so I don't know.
Have fun trying to bust down
These buybacks aren't really that. They're gonna just be able to harass and draw the creep wave, but I don't think it's that good. It's a buyback here.
Bottom tower
Not actually going to accomplish anything other than being a nuisance. Skyrath does come alive as well, but
Radiant's bottom tower's done for.
Skyrath at least has an ulti.
The Dire might want
Slark
to
does too, but Slark's a more defensive ultimate. But they're killing. Oh, Magnus skewers back to the Shadow Demon, and the Shadow Demon Force Staffs, so silence does nothing. The Omni Knight's chasing. Big deal if they lose to the Shadow Demon though. And he just TPs it anyway. And the Shockwave does finally collect, so they at least get a kill off it to make the Magnus's buyback look somewhat alright. But Spooky Salt Squad, they were wise and did just back off after getting the tier 3. They have total map control. They only ward, like, the only semi-aggressive ward they have is the one that's here, which even that one isn't super aggressive. And then they have a super defensive ward here, which, judging just by where the fights are, I don't think they're ever going to have a situation where someone's sitting there. I guess yeah, they would have been better off taking the risk, getting one there that at least provides
Look, I
vision
said
in
I
the secret
lost
shop
count.
area. And holy crap,
Seriously, I lost 2 down.
it has Juggernaut just killing everyone. Bye bye
How
Slurk.
many was that? 3 down.
Bye bye Medusa.
No idea how many
Holy
that
crap.
4 down.
Ruthless Gamers. And just, wow. Almost Skywrath too. Again, another just everybody dies. What? They could just, yeah, once they get the creep wave in the base, they can just take the bottom racks. No, they're not even gonna do that. I think that's a smarter play, but they're just gonna go straight for tier 4s. Safer play is to get racks. Ultimate just does nothing. Because he just spins out and can still strike towers and spin. And Viper actually picks off the Skywrath, so the only thing that's alive is the Omni-Knight, but
Radiant's mid tower
just
gets
Spooky Salt Spot is just gonna go
Radiant's
finish
top
this.
tower
So
taken
from
hit.
Medusa and respawn, so very Juggernaut is insane,
Radiant's
and
top
I don't
towers
know
are
why they didn't
chalk
ban
out
him,
for the dire.
but really solid play by Viking on that Jug to just, and all around good play by Spooky Salt Squad. They were able to make stuff happen early and just continued that into the rest of the game, and we look just a hair under 800 gold per minute on the Juggernaut, which, if memory serves me correctly, in like all time in professional Dota at least, there's been only 2 players that have broke 800 on Jug. So it's really high farming, well played Juggernaut, which Ruthless Gamers just didn't really have much that they could do. So, good game by both teams, and thank you for watching.
Welcome to the Monster Cat Podcast.